put it all through together into position. Right, a lot of practice to do. Hey guys, welcome back to Impact Dynamics. Today I'm going to be reviewing a number of the stages from the Nightforce Heatstroke Open. So this is my first PRS match and plenty of stuff went okay and lots of things did not go great. So the guys, as I were editing the other video, went through and suggested some of the stages I should watch and stuff I could learn from. So I have the rifle here. I'm going to try and look for some practical steps. I might even grab the gun out and sort of get behind it and tweak some things, change some things and see whether or not I can improve. We'll start off with choose your poison. Let's have a look. All right, so this one here, there was a K-Whale rack. You don't have a matchbook here, Josh. This should help. We had a targets at 505 meters on a K-Whale rack, going sort of larger to small, from 300 mil down to 100 mil. What I've done here is I've put different pieces of equipment behind different shooting positions. Let's see what I went with. Off the tire, I have decided to use the pump pillow on the rear of it, and let's see how we went here. Looks like a pretty solid position. Yep, got that one. So there's probably not a huge amount I can look at here. I'm probably pushing into the rifle a little bit too much. You can see that there's a lot of pressure on it. Probably should have let it sort of sit a bit more on that one there. What do we go to next? So I've got the game changer bag on the ladder. Let's see how this one goes. I think I might be guilty of doing the same thing here. Probably should have gone to the side a little bit more to try and sort of push up against that upright. I do remember this. So this is at 505 meters and that wind was messing with me. Again, I think I'm pushing too much into the position I was in before. It looked reasonably solid. I think I was actually battling with wind. I noticed I dialed up a bit further. Perhaps I was underneath. Let's see how we go in prone. So this will be the third target along. This will be a 200 mil target at 505 meters. You got that one. Right, so looking back at that, there's probably two things I can take out of that. One is leaning into the rifle probably a little bit too much. And then also, I'm pretty sure that my wind was not good. Let's see how we go. I may actually say something after this stage.
Because you hit the target next to it.
Oh, okay. So I hit the target to the side of it, according to Darcy. So I was well off in what I was guessing on wind. All right, I'm going to have to get out of practice wind. Not much I can do today to improve on that. Resupply. This one here, this was on 1,000 meters. Right, so we had to grab the magazine, load 5 into it. And I chose the same magazine because it was an easy one. It was a double stack magazine, so a little bit quicker to load, I found, because you can just sort of push them down onto them. All right, chucking that in there. Close it up. We're prone, pretty comfy on the positioning. And nothing has happened. All right, so it hasn't pushed it up, and I haven't sort of set it correctly or anything. And we're in. So we got that one, and then we're feeding issues again. So I think when I'm loading in, I'm just going to go back for a second and watch myself load those rounds. Yeah, see, I haven't. You can see there that those rounds are at sort of different stages. I should have pushed them all back, or yeah, sort of made them there. But you can see that they're off center. So I've not loaded that magazine very well, and seemingly that's had a pretty big effect on how it's gone. All right, let's jump back.
5.
I've dropped it. The magazine, I think, has come apart. I think I've dropped a couple of rounds on the ground. So now we're going to go shoot this one off, and you can tell that I'm not sort of not sitting anywhere near where I should be. You know, I heard my body language is all over it. That one looks very rushed. Needed to slow down. Now I was losing time, and I was thinking that as well. Right, so this is shot number 4. And that was an impact. And let's just spend some time. And now here is almost comical here. I can't find the 5th round. And so 1, 2, 3, collecting the brass, looking around. It's So from this magazine loading issue, I need to, I'm here trying to find it. One caveat to this, the next part of the stage was to jump up and go back and grab another 5 rounds and come back and shoot them. But you only got, or you can go grab how many rounds you wanted to, and when you came back, but you would only have a certain amount of time. So you could go back and sort of grab 3 rounds and come back. I had already decided I was just going to try with these 5. I wasn't going to go back because I knew I was taking time. So I was just trying to get 5. And obviously I'd bombed out 2 of them, and then I've got to this point. I think I pretty much just mentally checked out, heard the beep, and I don't know if you can see the round, but it is actually just in front of that bag there. So I can't, it's out of my vision, it's pretty much out of everyone's vision. It's sort of falling into the V in the bag. So when I pull this gun up, so you see, as I pull that up, it is right there in front of the bag. And there's my 5th one that I didn't get off. So 2 out of 4. It's not bad hit rate, but yeah, those 2 came from being completely flustered from the poor feeding. And honestly, yeah, I think that I rate that down to me loading the magazine poorly. So paying some attention while you're actually loading magazine can, particularly with rounds that might be a little finicky to load, can be extremely important. Right, last one that we might watch here is the vintage. Now this was a great fun stage. I really enjoyed this. So laying down on the swag, had to jump up on the beep.
Standby. You said standby, but I had to lie down.
And again, I was taking this relatively easy. Had to go to the box, get your magazines out. One magazine goes in the carrier, chuck it into the gun. I think the arrow was meant to take the flag out. Didn't in this case. Again, resting on that magazine, so it's not feeding overly well, but that's sort of pretty much shot at resting on the magazine because of the height of this barricade. No way around that really. I probably could have put the gun on my hand. That's probably a way to get a little bit more height out of it. But I hit that one and hit that one. So I'll take that. So there's two rounds on one target on the right hand side and then 2 rounds on the left hand side. And so let's go for a walk down now. I need to keep my heart rate down, and I know I'm not going to sort of get through it, so I'm there to enjoy myself a little bit more. Some of the guys would run a little bit more than that. I'd have been stuffed. And so one of the things here is we were suggested to shoot up this end, but not told we couldn't shoot down here. And I'd sort of eyeballed it out that it was a position of the target, so trying to get as easy a position as I can. So here we are. We're again 4 shots on this one here, so 2 on the right hand side. Got that one. And there. Shuffle across and we go to the other target. You see we've got no bags, no sort of rear support. This is just sort of running and gunning. So you see on this here, now I've come across to the left hand side. I'm not sort of sitting flat on this beam so much anymore. And you can see I'm starting to wobble a lot more there. And I don't get these 2. Yeah, sort of all over the shop there. I probably could have. I think I was trying to stay off of the beam on the left because there was a cable tie sticking out right there. I probably should have just grabbed the around and sort of pushed into it a little bit more to get some tension on that front, but I didn't. So, all right, then up onto this beam here, through somewhere on the wire, and using sort of not the barricade stop, really using the magazine, which is probably not the smartest thing to do on hindsight, but they did load and that one hit. And then keeping that pressure down directly on top of where I'm making contact with it. Magazine now, I actually got the magazine change right on this one, counted correctly. And then leaning in again, just trying to build some support on that. I've changed my hand from just above the gun to above the scope. Let's see if that's any different. Now, so I'm noticing that I'm hitting a lot of the first time round, but not hitting a lot of the second time round. Or I'm not hearing it at least. I'm not sure if I'm hitting. But what I probably should have been doing is actually building, like I build the first position, then shuffle to the second. I really probably should build the second position correctly as well, rather than just sort of moving across. Let's see how that continues on, if that continues on. All right, so this one here on the right hand side, I pushed up right against the box, the edge of the box, the window. Good on that. And good on that one. Now again, I've just shuffled across to the left hand side without building it. Oh yeah, that fabric's getting in the way, the Hessian. Yeah, I'm not hearing if I'm hitting those. The bloke calling impact is back at the other end. I guess we'll find out there's numbers at the end of it that tell me. So here we are, building that position first time for the right.
No, that one.
No, terrible. You see, actually, I'll play that back. That's just, as I shoot, I flinch it.
No, that one.
Through it. Completely. Let's try that again, see if this one's better. You also notice my balance point, I've got my hand forward of the rifle rather than sort of sitting on top of the beam. And so now I'm sort of twisting things rather than sort of sitting the pressure on where it's actually should be getting support. Ah, I worked it out, I moved my hand. Well done. Took the shot anyway. 14 out of 17. I must have been hitting some of those. Ones on the left hand side and just not hearing it, but certainly would be better off to build those positions rather than shuffle to them. Does a really good fun stage. Alright, so I've got a couple of things to work on. I'm going to, the magazine side of things, I need to pay more attention to that. The wind side of stuff, that's my biggest focus, and that's what I'm going to work on next. It's going to put some attention to that. But for the time being, I can actually spend some time building better positions. So that's what I'm going to do. Give that a shot. Alright, so I'm going to try and practice a little bit. Borrow this from you, Josh. And let's try Toto Wolf ladder. Right, some position building. Alright, so one of the things that I'm quite guilty of doing from that video is pushing forward on the gun. So, used to always shoot really like leaning into it pretty significantly. It's something, well, I don't necessarily want to allow it to like free recoil. It's not my goal. Just be a little bit more gentle on the gun. So allowing it to position a little bit more and just being, behind it in a firm way, but not full on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build that position a few times. Just starting from here. Really simple drill. We sort of just and you build into position on whatever it is you're aiming at. Close your bolt. I'll leave that out of there. Now, there's one major flaw with what I'm doing right now, but I'll tell you that in a second. Can you guess what it is? Right, problem is, magazine normally lives there, and I'm going to get into the habit of setting all this up without having magazine in there. When you get a magazine, I go with the one that sticks out the most because they're the one that get in the way more often. Right, now let's try that again, see how much difference that makes. So one thing I noticed here, particularly the first time I did it, is that my legs are relatively close together. If you come around here, Josh, you can sort of see that I'm not got a lot of, haven't got good support underneath. So if I was to go a little bit wider in that stance, that's going to give me a much more supportive setup. That's heaps better. So now I have to work out how to naturally get into position. One of the things you'll notice that I'm doing here is trying to be efficient with movement. So I'm sort of stepping and then dropping down immediately, rather than sort of taking 2 or 3 steps up. But then I'm making sure that it's in the right position. And so this is certainly not perfection from me. There's the guys who really know what they're doing and watching this, correcting all the mistakes I'm making. But the point being that just spending this time, this is something I definitely didn't do before Darwin, spending this time sort of getting in behind, building the position 10, 15, 20 times is a really good way to sort of correct little things. You get in position like, what doesn't feel stable? What doesn't feel correct? And so being able to use that, in this position here, and you're like, well, this is good, but I've built the position 5 times now. Can I do it every time? And then you change it up and you build another position. Let's go to this one. So I pull that in there and I've got to bring that gun in and through. Wow, that's gone well, hasn't it?
Not like that.
Not like that. So we find a different way. So keep that bag with the gun and we put it all through together. All right, a bit lower. So now you go a little bit wider in the legs, a little bit lower. And this is where I would have a tendency now to push in because I'm leaning, so I need to a little bit more comfortable straight. So I've got a lot of wobble at the moment. They're trying to decipher where and why that is. Take all the time to work out where the correct position is. So you can't do this on a live run of a stage. Obviously, because you're just chewing up so much time. Well, that's heaps better than it was. Not there yet. Right, so now I've taken some time to find a position that's a bit more comfortable. Can I get into it? And so this is the type of thing that you can spend literally hours doing, working out what's comfortable to shoot in a given position and sort of working it backwards to see how you build that position. Right, I've got a lot of practice to do, so I'll keep on going and we'll catch you in the next video. Even this isn't sync.